Passionate in our worship, practical in our service, powerful is the God we serve. We are pilgrim, we are pilgrim, we are pilgrim.
Thank you for tuning in to the Pilgrim Baptist Church broadcast on the BTV network. I'm so glad that you've taken time to tune in to this worship service. And today we have a special message by a brother, by a friend, one who is truly a man of God, the Pastor Michael Winston of the Sardis Baptist Church in Camphill, Alabama. We consider him one of Pilgrim's own. We're so glad that he was able to share with us, and you will be so blessed by receiving the message today. So stay tuned for an awesome word for God. And once again, Pilgrim Baptist Church is proud to be part of the BTV family. God bless you.
Well, there is a word. It's from the word, and it's located in the word. But before we go to 1 Samuel, let's pause for a moment of prayer. Dear Heavenly Father, God, how we thank you for being the wonder in our life. God, somehow, some way, you continue to show yourself strong. God, you and only you would have the capacity and the audacity to love us more than we can love ourselves. So it's now, God, I pray, since God, you're already here, allow us to leave here better than we came. Now open eyes that we will behold your glory. Lord, open our ears. Because God, we need to hear your voice. And God, open our hearts that we would receive your word. Now, Holy Spirit, I pray, arrest everyone under the sound of my voice. In Jesus' name, amen. 1 Samuel chapter 4. First Samuel chapter 4. And I'm going to be reading from the New American Standard, beginning at verse 19. Now his daughter-in-law, Phinehas' wife, was pregnant and about to give birth. And when she heard the news that the ark of God was taken, and that her father-in-law and her husband had died, she kneeled down and she gave birth, for her pains came upon her. And about that time of her death, a woman who stood by her said to her, "Do not be afraid, for you have given birth to a son." But she did not answer or pay attention. And she called the boy Ichabod, saying, "The glory has departed from Israel, because the ark of God was taken away." And because of her father-in-law and her husband, she said, "The glory has taken and departed from Israel." I want to talk as you take your seats. I want to talk from the subject, the danger and dilemma of a missed exit. The danger and dilemma of a missed exit. Have you noticed that many haven't taken notice? That God has given all of us notice. Have you noticed, as more and more people are noticeably not here, that God has given all of us a notice? That life has become so flimsy, so feeble, so few, and so frail, that you can be up today and down the very next. That you don't know what the next thing coming your way will be. But yet, in spite of life's notice, it appears that the church, in its slumber, is borderline flatline. And God is allowing life to shock us at a rapid pace. But even after next week's shock, because it will be one, it seems we'll slip back off to slumber again. Haven't we been shocked enough to realize God ain't nobody to play with? Have we been shocked enough to realize that life is a gift? Have you not been shocked enough to understand you better make this life as best as you can? Because you never know what you know, and what you know ain't all it is to know. But yet, it appears that, like myself, we're going to have to learn after making some wrong turns. I was traveling with my wife, and we had a destination. I had somewhere to go. And all of a sudden, things wasn't making sense. And Deacon Murray, my wife, she raised the question. She said, do you know where you going? You know how we do. We try to hold it steady. Maybe she realized, I don't know why we do it, but I cut the radio off. As if that was going to help me find out where I was going. But after ignoring her, she said, do you know where we're going? She said, are we lost? And that's the same reason I came here today. To ask you today, Pilgrim, do you know where you're going? And could it be that some way we've taken a wrong turn and we've missed our exit and maybe God got off somewhere a long time ago? And could it be we're still having church and we're still having programs, but we missed God a long time ago? Where is the glory? Where is the change? Where is the development of disciples? I want to know, where is my God? Because I don't want to be located nowhere where my God is not at. I depend on him just a little bit too much. I lean on him all the time. I realize he's an ever-present help in the time of our trouble. And I can't keep going and miss my exit. But maybe as I quote, it was none other than that thinking, thoughtful theologian by the name of Dr. Frederick James. And he quoted this one day. He says, sit down. Didn't I tell you not to move? And he said it with that force that could only come from a father, to the point I almost sat down myself. But I realized that could God also in this season be telling us to sit down and to remember what he has told us? Could it be that we were so quick to jump back and to move and try to find normal in the midst of abnormal? Could it be that when he sat the whole world down, that there was a time to reflect and self-examine? Could it be that when we were sitting down, there was a time to repent? God, I'm sorry, to get my praise right and my worship right. Was there a time when God told us to sit down? There was a time that I need to get right with my family and my friends. Could it be when God said sit down, but we were too quick to jump back up again? And so you may be like me and my wife was.
You are invited to a celebration of God's Gospel on Sunday, August 28th at 10 o'clock a.m. Join the music ministry of the Pilgrim Baptist Church for an amazing worship experience as we celebrate through song, through word, and through heartfelt experiences. Once again on August 28th at 10 o'clock a.m., we hope to see you because there is good news from God for you at the Pilgrim Baptist Church. The Pilgrim Baptist Church celebrates Men and Women's Day on Sunday, September 25th at 10 o'clock a.m. Our special guest for this day is the Reverend Dr. Maurice Mickles of the Greater Beulah Baptist Church of Columbus, Georgia. Please come and worship with us.
We were going in circles. All right. And she looking at me, and I could feel her just looking. She said, hadn't we been here one time already? And I'm trying my best to just keep on Brother White, but she just kept looking at me, and I'm driving, and she just said, we've already been down this road, and I'm trying, but we're going in circles, and I can see people that are watching the church right now, and they say, have we been down this road before? And look like we ought to be going a different route, and have we already seen this before? And could we see something else? And I don't want to see the same old, same old. I don't want to have the same old worship. Have we seen this before? When we just come to church and act like we're doing God a favor? Have we seen this before? When I just pity pat and I don't give God everything? Have we seen this before? If he's God the way I know he is, do you not know that you have not seen all there is to see of God? But you got to draw near to God first, and then God said, I'll draw to you. He didn't have us the praises of his people. But like the children of Israel, you're going to have to fight. It's amazing, Minister Audrey, that we have to fight for our child. We got to fight for our spouse. We got to fight to make $1 last. We got to fight things from our past. I got to fight to keep my mind. I got to fight all the time. I got to fight friends, enemies, family. I even got to fight myself. I got to fight all the time. And sometimes even when I sleep, I wake up tired because I've been fighting even in my sleep. You're going to have to fight. And they find the children of Israel, God's own sanctified, anointed people of God. And they find themselves in a fight with the Philistines. But the question that remains to this day is, how are the people of God being beaten and broken down and battered and tattered and worn, dusted and disgusted by those that are outside the church? And we are more afraid and fickle and funny when it comes to those on the outside. I thought no weapon formed against you should be able to prosper, but you still messed up over who didn't speak and how they rolling their eyes and how are they speaking to this. I can't understand. Every time I turn around, don't even have to turn around. God is still in the blessing business, and he don't bless me beyond speaking and smiles. He's blessed me beyond how you feel. He's blessed me beyond attitudes. He's blessed me beyond what the day's gonna bring. He's just that good. But they got a beat down to the point 4,000 the first fight lost their lives. And he says, wait a minute, round two. And what happens when you miss your exit and you miss the glory of God, which I've seen creeped into our churches. When there's no glory, you settle for gimmicks. And there's a whole lot of gimmicks that's going on. A whole lot of gimmicks I see in the church that has crept in, and now we substituted glory for gimmicks. Because the gimmick says if you do this, you're going to get that. The gimmick says you got to do all these works and tricks, but all they are gimmicks. The glory is still the glory. Jesus still works. The blood is still powerful. And I'm going to continue to hold on to his word. Don't tell me about if I get 100 likes on social media that the 101 person gonna be blessed by midnight. Don't tell me some more that I'm watching the game and fall asleep and now somebody's I'm playing cloth and oil and I put it under my pillow and 3 days later I'm gonna be blessed. That ain't nothing but a gimmick. Can I tell you, prayer still works. Ain't on your knees still works. Hollering out to Jesus still works. Standing on the scripture still works. so they come with this gimmick. They come carrying the ark, shouting. So they got a lot of praise, but they don't have no power. They have jump and energy, but God is not with them. And what is it that we come and we high five and we run around the church and we do a jig and a dance, but God hasn't been invited? How is it that we still saying the only part that we can participate in is offering? What are we doing? If the only time that you can participate is when you take that little fold up dollar and put it in a place. What are we doing if we can't participate when these songbirds are singing? What are we doing if we can't participate when the deacons stand up to pray? What are we doing if we can't participate when the man of God is preaching the word of God? If the only time you can participate is when you give a dollar, that ain't nothing but a gimmick. But when and when you touch and agree with 2 or 3 gathered in his name, he said, I will show up in the But they came, Deacon Wright, they came with the ark. The ark was a representation of the glory and the presence of God. How in the world could they look the part but not have the power? Because too long we have been carrying empty boxes. And empty boxes with an educational system that is trying to educate our children when you don't know who's going to be the next one with a gun, a bomb, and everything else. When we don't even know that now even the sacred worship sanctuary is no longer sacred, and you don't know what deranged lunatic is in the parking lot waiting on for you. And even though you locked your nose, you don't know what joker was lying in the bushes waiting on you to crank your car up. I can't be running around here with the empty box. I am, and I repeat it, I am the dwelling place of God. I am the temple of the Holy Spirit, and I can't be no empty box because I can't stay with my baby in first grade all day. I can't be no empty box because I love my church, and my church has my prayers, and they don't need no pastor with no empty box. And then, can I tell you, knowing that there's an enemy that I gotta fight, I got to have something in my box. But, I'm about to take my seat. But, not only when you miss your exit, not only do you settle for gimmicks, you will also start to gamble. And we see a lot of people who have went from gimmicks to gambling. You really think, I know you look like a desperado or a Lone Ranger right now, but are you really trusting a mask of something you can't see? Now we done went from chicken pops to Cocoa Pops to Monkey Pops, and you don't know what in the world to do. You cannot gamble with yourself. You have to make sure that every time you leave the house, matter of fact, you don't have to leave the house. You need to make sure at all times you are connected with your God. You have to make sure that this word is hidden in your heart at all times. I can't gamble with my peace. I can't gamble we were driving. Brother Jay, and I didn't know where I was going.
All right.
And I had ran out of excuses. You know, you start asking something, you hungry? And Sister T, all of a sudden, the very one I thought was fighting against me, she said, sweetie, look up. And when I looked up, I saw our destination. See, I'm helping you. Because see, I was looking out. I was looking at the traffic. I was looking at the construction. I was looking at my watch. I was looking at the cars. But my wife reminded me, she said, sweetie, look up. And when I looked up, I saw my destination.